Coach Dr. Ness.
I'm gonna talk about it either.
You want to hold that thought?
Yeah, I'll hold that thought till we get to it. But yeah, I was gonna tell you about this article. I was like, well, would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Good morning, right. Grand Rising. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Listen, I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day. If you're celebrating Mother's Day, that was nice. You honor your mother, even in your own way, whether or not that was a mom who's still with us or a mom who has passed on, right? Shout out to all the moms. Everywhere and the mother figures and the village mamas, right? Like, oh my gosh, everybody who is a part of this huge village to raise the child. And actually, before we get into our sugar and sugar alternatives discussion, Coach Dr. Ness, I want to say that I'm actually going to be extending the challenge. So instead of the new moms, the Radiant New Moms Challenge starting today, remember we're talking about like sleep deprivation and increasing energy and, kind of putting ourselves first. Or putting yourself first as a new mom if you're coming on the challenge. We're going to be extending the registration time. So instead of us starting today, we're actually going to start in 2 weeks. So we'll kick it off on Memorial Day. Yeah, so we'll kick it off on Memorial Day, but it's still a challenge focused on new moms. So it gives us a little bit more opportunity to increase our reach, people know about it. And so if you're listening to this and you are a mom of a young child who is age 2 or younger, and find yourself going through all of the things that we talked about, then this is a free challenge for you where you will be, given some nice advice and coaching and support and challenges to work on micro habits in order to increase, your energy in some of these like more positive experiences to counteract maybe some of the things that you might be going through. So anyway, I wanted to say that before we move forward.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I will let the people in my community know as well, because I'll post it again that it's extended. So in 2 weeks, that's Memorial Day. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
This year is going by so quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
Day
awesome,
is in
though.
2 weeks, and then after that, we'll be in June. Yeah, we'll in the summer.
Jesus.
I know. I don't know what to say about it either.
I don't either.
It is what it is. This is the reality.
You're right.
The time is just going by so quickly.
Always. Time does not stop for any of us. But I mean, it is what it is. We got to make the most of our time, right? That's the one. I don't even know if you can call it a commodity, but part of life that we can never get back. So cherish it.
The only thing that's for certain, right? So okay, so we're talking about sugar today.
Ooh.
and sugar alternatives, right? So take the wheel, Ness. I'm sure we'll buckle our seats for this because a lot of us have sugar every time. You know what? Sidebar.
Yes.
Every time I feel that we do this thing, my nose always is itching. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what an itchy nose means.
You know how they say, like, if your hands are itching, somebody's talking about yours money or something. I'm gonna look it up real quick. I'm gonna have that for you. But
what's the itchy nose? What's the significance of itchy nose?
I don't know what it is, but I noticed that when we do these things, and my nose always ends up itching some kind of way.
Oh my goodness.
I'm about to look and see what it is. Like, is it my ancestors trying to tell me something?
Telling you something. I wonder, well, I was going to start by saying the reason why we're talking about sugar today is I have what they call it, a sweet tooth, right? There are some people that like crunchy things, they like spicy things. Like my thing is sweet, and it's like always been that way. I don't know. Well, I do know why, because sugar is addictive. I know that. But I found that when I start cutting back on sugar, like, not like I won't make cookies, or I won't get something that has a lot of sugar in it, or like the only drink I'll consume will literally be just water and maybe tea with a little bit of nectar in it, right? Or honey in it. No sugar. I don't put sugar in it. That when I do finally have something that I used to drink that has a lot of sugar, like say iced tea, maybe it's too sweet. But before it tastes so good. But when I cut back on the sugar, you know, I cleanse my body of all of that extra sugar. When I finally pick it back up, or if I pick it back up, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is way too sweet. Even, you know what, like, you know, those like flavor packs that you put in the water.
Okay.
Like those sweeteners, right? I don't ever use a full pack. I always use way more water than I do, you know, flavor pack. So my husband actually over the weekend, I was like, hey, can you put me a flavor pack in this? He put a whole pack in my water. Like I have a thing of water, like a jug of water. And I was like, this is too sweet. And my daughter's like, Mom, you're exaggerating. You always say it's too sweet, and it's not too sweet. But that's because they're used to putting a full pack in whatever, you know, they're drinking. Right. So then, you know, she takes a sip. She's like, Ma, this tastes like water. And I'm like, no,
it's too much. It's too much. You can put like a little lemon or something in it too.
You're right. Yeah. Yep.
That's what I used to do when I didn't used to like the taste of water, and I didn't want, you know, I just put a little lemon on it.
Just want a little flavor or a little lime.
So sidebar, I found out the itchy nose thing. I just looked it up.
What you find?
Okay. So there is, let's see. All right. Number one. So I'm only gonna say the first three, because there's 17 possibilities. I'm only gonna say three of them. I'm going through the whole list. First one, number one, someone is saying things about you behind your back.
What?
That's number one. Number two is you're about to receive money.
Claim it and receive it.
And number three is you have a secret admirer. So okay.
Okay. So maybe the secret admirer is speaking of you behind your back and is going to give you money to get in contact with you.
Okay, now you know what? Thank you for putting, you know what, and wherever you are, wherever you are,
yes, they're gonna sow a seed. They're gonna sow a seed, a monetary seed.
Positive things. So we talking positive things about me behind my back now, not like, and it's only because you haven't been yet able to get in front of my face. You understand?
That's what it is.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. All right. So anyway, so that was the itchy nose thing. The mystery is solved. Okay.
Yes. Now we know. Right. You got a secret admirer speaking good things about to sow into you. There it is.
There we go. Amen.
There it is.
All right. So you were saying that you didn't used to like the taste of water. You put this flavor pack you're saying, but it tastes too sweet. And where do we go from here?
So the reason why we as people in this culture, you know, when you start drinking sweet stuff, you just want more. It's an addictive thing. It's like it sends its chemical messengers in your brain, but it also, what it does is it spikes your blood sugar, right? So regular cane sugar, well, I should say refined cane sugar, like the white table sugar, that's terrible for you, by the way. High fructose corn syrup, all of those are refined sugars. They have little to no. Come here. Look at this one. Come here. Show me. Come here. He's trying to carry something out of here. Come here, bring it here real quick. Bring it here. He's like, no, I don't want to hear it. But anyway,
Motherhood 101.
Seriously. It's a distraction.
You got there.
You got to distract them, right? So those refined sugars, they spike your blood sugar so fast, but they have very little to no nutritional value. So basically all you're consuming is empty calories. And so your body likes that little boost, that, you know, that quick boost. And so it's like, oh, do it again. I want that again. I like that feeling. Do it again. And so that's why if you start with something that has high sugar content, you're more likely to want it again or want it more, right? Like, okay, I had a cookie. It satisfied my sweet tooth for a minute, but then 2 hours later, you're like, oh, maybe another cookie won't hurt. Right. Maybe another cookie won't hurt.
Shoot, guilty. Okay.
Same.
But wait, hold on. I have a question though, because you said you were differentiating between cane sugar and refined table sugar. Can you just real quick give the difference between those and like, are you getting into that?
Cane sugar. I don't get into that in this. I talk about the artificial sweeteners, but I don't get cane sugar. It's natural, right? It's sweet, but it's not as sweet as refined sugar. Refined sugar has gone through so many processes, I think that's the plural of processes that it is no longer natural. I don't know if that's the, I mean, it still has
cane sugar, right from the sugar cane, or in them little cane sugar packs, maybe, as opposed to fine sugar.
I don't know about the packs.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. We can talk about that
another
next time.
I don't know about the
I was
packs.
just curious if you had an idea, because I know there's a hierarchy in what's good for you and what isn't, and that even with
Oh yes, there absolutely is. But the refined sugar is where we get in trouble, right? So those things are in. If you look at a food label, there is so much sugar in a lot of the foods that we eat, but it's hidden, right? It doesn't always say cane sugar. It doesn't always say sugar. Sometimes you might see aspartame, you might see saccharin, you might see sucrose, you might see all of these fancy words for sugar, but it is sugar nonetheless, right? And so all of our food, not all, majority of our foods have sugar in them. A lot of the drinks that we get have sugar in them, but too much sugar contributes to a lot of health conditions, right? So you have weight gain, obesity, diabetes, tooth decay, right? If you're not flossing and brushing and doing all of that, and even heart disease. I don't know the mechanism by which, but heart disease is one of those things. If you have excess sugar, it can be a product of consuming too much sugar, right? And so I don't know when they started out with these artificial sweeteners, but people decided, oh, okay, well, these refined sugars are not good for us. Let's create alternatives like these artificial sweeteners, right? So let's come up with some artificial sweeteners. And so the goal was to make them lower in calorie or caloric calories, but also give you that sweet taste, right? To satisfy that sweet taste. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of the alternative sugars, right? Right, they give you the sweetness that our bodies want. They reduce the calories, but they're not so good for us, right? There was an article that I was reading, but I had read up before tonight or before this morning about them, right? So one of the things says that these artificial sweeteners have been linked to metabolic disorders, right? And they actually alter your gut flora or your microbiota in your gut. And I feel like we talked about this a while ago. When you have the artificial sweeteners, you are more likely to want more sweets because your body knows how to process the regular sugar. Then it gets the artificial sugar and it's like, okay, yeah, wait a minute. That's not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
I'm bamboozled.
Wait a second. Go back. I want more
Rewind.
So your mouth is tasting the sweetness, but once it's in your body and it's time to metabolize it, it's like, hold on, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, right? And so it's like trying to navigate that, and then and it signals to your brain, you know what, get more, because this is not what we thought it was. Go ahead. So now you have more cravings for more sweet because you are full or filling up on the artificial sweeteners, right? And so there was a study. I don't know how long they did this study, but it came out this morning on CNN, and they were talking about the World Health Organization did this study, and they created these new guidelines as far as the alternative sugar, not the cane sugar, but the alternative sugars, right? And they were saying that after all was said and done, that they're actually not as beneficial as people originally thought, right? They don't help with weight loss over the long term, right? Let me see. And it said that they actually increase your risk for type 2 diabetes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought that the purpose of the artificial sweeteners was to get around those not so good effects of the refined sugar. But the study showed that it actually increased your risk for type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Yes.
So when the people want to get some sweet and they don't want, to get the diabetes along with it, then
okay, here we go.
We
We get it right into it. We are going to go back to nature. Okay. So think of the stevia plant, right? That is a natural form of sweetener that you can consume. It has, I don't think it has any calories, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's calorie free. And its effects on your blood sugar, right? So when you think of the refined sugars, your blood sugar is like this, then you have some refined sugars and it goes, whew, and then it comes right back down. Just as fast as it went up, it came right back down. But the stevia actually doesn't give you those spikes in your blood sugar. So, I mean, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, but it's not as sharp of a spike. So you don't have that crash when you're coming down from the stevia. And if you don't want stevia, okay, let's try some honey. And we talked a little bit about honey a while ago, but honey, raw honey. You have to be careful with the honey.
Yeah.
Please read your labels, because there's a lot of honeys that are high fructose corn syrup with a splash of honey in it. Come here, come give me the car. So please read your labels. It should literally only have 1, maybe 2 ingredients, or just 1 raw honey. Like that's all it should be on it. And if you can get it with a honeycomb in it, that's even better. But I mean, those ones are a little bit more expensive. So if you don't get the honeycomb, that's fine. But you want raw honey. Raw honey has antioxidants in it. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial. It has a lot of vitamins in it. Like, it's actually good for our bodies, right?
It's really good for us. For people who are not vegans, it's a good option.
Yeah, that's too. I forgot about that part, but yeah,
it is about a vegan.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. And you know what's wild? My daughter told me yesterday. She said, "Mom, I think I'm gonna be vegan." I said, "Well, that's awesome, but just know not everything that's vegan friendly is good for you, right? There's a lot of things that are vegan friendly that are not good for you. So, got to do your research." She's like, "Oh no, I will. I just don't like meat." And I'm like, "Okay,
yeah, but she can be a vegetarian.
She can, but the word she chose was vegan." So I just said, "Okay." And just said, okay, you gotta do your research, right? You gotta know what you're doing, what it's about, where it originated from.
But also, it's like, why do we have to put labels on everything, right? Like, if you don't want to eat meat, just don't eat meat. And
that's true.
I mean, you don't have to be like, oh yeah, like taking on this identity of I am, I am a vegan, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
you don't
I
have to do that. I mean, it's okay.
100%.
No disrespect to anybody who like loves their labels, but
not the label lover.
Not the label lover. Because you know what? Meat eaters don't do that.
I do.
Y'all don't do that. Y'all do not do that. Y'all don't be like, I'm a meat eater. I'm a carnivore. You don't ask somebody, huh?
I know, I get it. But you know what? I think the reason why the labels came about is for convenience, right? So sometimes people want things to be simple. And so when you rather than saying, well, I don't eat any products that come from or derive from any animals, rather than saying that whole thing, they just say, I'm vegan. It's convenient.
I get that. But you know what I'm saying? Some people,
I do.
Entire identities around it.
I do. I do. I mean,
and that's with any label.
They find out who they are.
It is a sidebar, but that's a sidebar. So we don't have to get into that, but that's with any label. Tying your entire identity into it is like, but anyway, okay.
So we have that, we have honey, we have coconut sugar.
Okay.
It comes from the sap of the coconut palm tree, right? And that has a lower glycemic index than actual sugar, like the sugar cane does. So it doesn't boost your blood glucose like the sugar would. But it also has potassium, it has iron, it has zinc, it has a couple minerals in it. So that's actually a really good option. And then I wasn't sure I wanted to, so that was 3. There's another one. I wasn't sure I want to put this because I am not a fan of it, but I mean, it is natural. Maple syrup.
Oh,
but it has to be 100% maple syrup. It cannot be.
Maple syrup is strong, isn't it?
It is.
It's very
and that's why you only need a little bit. Yes, but it's not. Yes. He's pretending like he's sleeping, but he's screaming. Good job.
Oh boy.
Good job. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of maple syrup. Oh, let me take that back. Let me take it back. I'm not a fan.
You said no. Don't take it back. Sit in your reality, in your truth. Okay. You don't like maple syrup. That's okay, but I don't mean you can't tell people about it.
No, I can't. Okay. 100% real maple syrup. I'm not a fan of that flavor because I got so used to the other maple syrup that's not You know what I'm saying? The sugar maple syrup. That's what I got used to. So when I tasted the actual maple syrup, I was like, now my waffles are ruined.
No, that's right. No, I got some real maple syrup once from, I think I was driving back down from Canada, and I got it in Maine.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, whoa, you know, that maple syrup is still in my refrigerator. That was like,
but you know,
I mean, because you can only, they give it to you in a glass bottle.
Yes.
You know, you got to pour it.
With a little leaf on it.
Right. It's so strong.
It is.
It's so strong, but okay. So that's an alternative. You can put, you like the maple leaf.
Just a little
it's
bit
up there,
goes
though,
a long
ain't it?
way.
Up that way.
It is.
Maple,
it
maple
is.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
And so the bonus, right? So a bonus one, I was gonna put in our dates, right? Like people want a little sweetener. They just want something sweet. Just put a little bit of dates in whatever it is that you're making, and that will add a little bit of sweetener
and some fiber.
Oh.
Be prepared. I'm sorry, I gotta say that. If you about to be putting dates in your food for sweeteners, just be prepared to be on that toilet. Okay. As
you know what? Sometimes our bodies just need that. Yeah, sometimes our bodies just need that. It's a natural way to. Yeah, we should always be drinking water, and I think we should have a conversation about that too. I think we actually did already. We talked about that in alkaline water, but it doesn't hurt to revisit it. Well,
especially because in June, second plug, in June, we're going to be doing a hydration challenge. And
so talk about it.
Okay. Well, I can't really all the way talk about it yet.
Okay, fine. Okay.
But I can put, this little bit, because I'll be talking a lot more about it in the next couple of weeks. Actually, probably in the next couple of days, honestly, if we're being real about it, I'll probably start posting some things about it, about that challenge. But that one is about hydration, and we are a lot of times, under hydrated and or dehydrated, right? And we don't understand that we are, and so our cells aren't functioning right. Things, our body is just not functioning how it is because we are not actually fully hydrated. And we are a lot of water runs in these bodies.
Our body runs off of that.
You understand? The majority, right? It's like just fluids. So hydration as a basis, so we can also think about like just what does that cell hydration do, and how does that prepare us for optimizing our health, and that's what the challenge is about. So it'll be 3 days. So all the challenges that will be 3 days, and they'll also get access into our Grow Healthier plan group, that curriculum with the Grow Healthy Habits course, all of those things, and also the 3-day challenge, the 3-day hydration challenge, where they'll get coaching and all that stuff. And so all of that's coming along. I'm going to talk to you about it, as well. But yeah, so everybody put that. So that'll be our challenge in June.
For June. Yep. Just in time. Just in time. Our skin loves it. Our hair loves it. Our bodies love it when we are fully hydrated. They love it.
Yeah.
You don't get headaches, you're making better food choices. There's a lot that goes into it.
And guess
more than just
hydrates us too. Being outside, having fun in the sun, sweating, doing things, losing those bodily fluids, because we're having such a nice time that, our body needs to cool down. So we're sweating out some stuff and we're not refreshing that. So we end up making ourselves susceptible to heat stroke and, and all these different things. And so I think like you said, it is the good time to do it, to challenge. And for people who are like, whatever, I know how to drink water. It's not about that. It place that you get hydration.
Exactly. Your fruit, I'm telling, like watermelon is, lettuce, like there's so many other ways.
Yes. Right. There's so many different things. So all of that stuff. So we're going to be talking about getting hydration from water, getting hydration.
Yes.
Talk about this anymore. Cause
oh no, I love it. Like, I love it.
But this is basically the like, how can we be better hydrated and how, and so creating, again, these are challenges that are focused on creating micro habits, right?
Yes.
So it's how do we develop these little small habits that over time just build up to us being, the best that we can be in terms of health and wellness.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm excited for that one too, because you're right. It's not always just water where you get your hydration.
That's right.
Right. Our cells like being hydrated, but they're not like, oh, it has to be water. Oh, no.
Yep.
Melons are,
I'm gonna tell you what it's not though. It's not Gatorade. Ooh. Okay, that's it. I'm not
what in the world? You know what Gatorade is? Gatorade is excellent marketing.
Is. I have a natural Gatorade recipe.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for this, but we don't have to talk about that one anymore because I
don't mean to say Gatorade. I mean to say like electrolyte drinks, right? Because that's just one brand. So we're not going out for Gatorade. I definitely, Gatorade has definitely come in for me when I've been feeling like, wow, I have an electrolyte imbalance. But I recommend those kind of things for people who are doing sports or like workouts.
Yep.
Losing enough electrolytes for there to be an electrolyte
need. Yeah.
That is a life-threatening thing. So when I had a thing where I was recovering from something and but I was being active, it was like dancing outside, and then I started feeling whatever, but I was doing it for hours. I have an electrolyte imbalance. I was like, if I don't get something right now, I'm about to pass out. Like that's where, you want to do that. But they also have, those hydration tablets.
Packets. Yeah. Yep.
The packets, the tablets that you can take when you need, when you absolutely need to be hydrated, the ORS, ORS, tablets and all those things. So there's a bunch anyways. Anyway, all that to say that we're going to be doing this challenge and I'm going to be giving some gems.
Okay, so the first challenge we have to get through is it considered Mother's Day? Oh, it's New Mom's Challenge.
In honor of Mother's Day, right? So we were supposed to start it today, but we're starting it in a couple of weeks because we want more new mom. Like we know that more folks.
We want to extend it. Yes. And give access to.
Exactly.
Give access to more moms. You see me ducking and dodging us Legos coming left and right, and I'm just trying not to get smacked in the face on camera. So that's
hilarious. That's really fun. So that's the first one. That's the first one, and it's about sleep and energy. So it's sleep and energy. Those are the two main things, and of course, being able to put yourself first, or at least being able to really prioritize self-care. Which gets lost in the sauce when you got a million things going on, and you're raising a young child who is demanding certain things, demanding nutrition from you, demanding your time. Right. So the first challenge is about that. The second challenge is for, everybody, right? Everybody. And that is for hydration, but I'll get into that. Like I said, at least in the next week, I'll start talking about that. So give me a week to focus on this. The next week I'll start talking about the challenge. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm super excited that it got extended because I know that there are so many people that can benefit from it. But now that they know, okay, look, you're going to prepare yourself, get ready, like take little steps while you can, jot down what you're doing, what's working, what's not. That way, when you get into the program or you get into the challenge, you're like, oh, I can see where I can make a shift here, or I can see where this time could be used to do X, Y, and Z, as opposed to insert whatever,
If you want to get into the challenge, put the link into the description. You have to sign up for a challenge strategy call. That's with any of the challenges that are coming up.
Okay.
for the challenge strategy call because we want to make sure that we set you up with a mentor or coach who can really understand what you're trying to get out of the challenge.
Yes.
To help maximize what you can, your benefits, right?
Yes.
So that's important. You can't just show up on day one and be like,
I'm ready. I'm here.
No, nobody worked with you. Nobody, to try to see where you're at. You didn't do that pre-course or pre-challenge.
Yeah, the pre-work. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Can I just tell you?
So the challenges are free. Whether or not you decide to continue with coaching after that, that's up to you, right? But the 3-day challenge itself is free. So, it's like, what do you have to lose? If you got something to gain out of it, then come.
Absolutely. Right. And don't use time as an excuse, right? Because it's not an excuse. Not for this challenge, not for this one.
So you'll get on a daily basis what the challenge is for that day. You'll work on things, and then there's an opportunity for a live support call, but you don't have to be on that live support call.
You're nice. You're being real nice.
Yeah,
you really are.
Better if you can be on a call though, right? Like what you is what you get out. But we also understand that people have different schedules, right? So whether or not you're able to get on it live, you can still ask your questions within the group. We can still answer them. So you would, so everybody gets served in a way that works for them, but trying to be really, considerate around what it means to be busy and to not have, I can't tell you have to be here at this time if it's really hard for you because you got to work around your schedule and we want to work with you. Right. But we also want you to be successful. And that's with the Radiant New Mom Challenge. That's with, the hydration challenge. That's with all the challenges that will be, coming up.
And I think that's why it's important to also know that the call, right? They hear call and they're like, oh no, I don't want to get on the phone. But it's so that, the coaches, the mentors, everybody that's in the program that's going to be working with you can actually serve you better, right? So they can hear, it's okay, you got a baby in the background screaming, you got a toddler running around, right? So we can get an idea of what's going on and how we can best serve you. So that is important.
15. It's not even gonna be.
Yes. No, I get it.
Okay.
Yes. No, I get it. And I just wanted to reiterate that fact that that's what the purpose of the call is, so that we can see how we can serve you. You can tell us, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is what I need help with. We say, okay, we know exactly, we know where to go from here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In that pre-work
call, it's not like, you ain't got to worry about any of that stuff. Like it really is.
Yeah.
And your goals and us making sure that we have an established connection with you before you start the challenge.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm about to post it again.
Thank you.
Because there are so many women that could benefit from it. And it's free.
Yeah.
Free. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything monetarily. And so if you're worried about like, oh, how can I, you don't have to worry about that. That's not one thing you need to worry about. Just come, learn, grow, and be a better you.
That's right. Okay, well, that was a great discussion. Thank you for allowing me to take some time to talk about those things as well. I know we went off topic with the challenges, but just a little.
No, it's important.
A public service announcement.
Yeah, it's important. It's part of the community. It's part of what we do and why we do it, right? Like it's to serve the community. So it's not really off topic. It's a part of the program.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you so much. This was our Physical Wellness Mondays. Thank you, Coach Dr. Ness. We're here every Monday, y'all. So tune in. Those of you who are in the community, don't forget that you can, if you want to, you can actually hop in these Zoom calls and be a part of the conversation, right? Like you don't have to be shy about that. That's cool. Or you can in the background and just like, it's all good, right? Do what you feel comfortable with. But anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you next Monday. Everybody have a great